So hi, One Look Noise Podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
And we're here with...
I'm Alex.
I'm Jason.
And I'm Josh, and we're Story Told.
And we're asking some questions today about the upcoming album, Mundane Magic. So congrats on that, by the way. How do you guys feel about the response to the announcement so far?
Yeah, it's really been awesome. This is I think this is album number 4 for us. And every album cycle is new and exciting. So for our fans to be as hyped as ever and for us to have another collection of songs that we feel super excited and stoked about. I mean, it's excellent. It feels awesome.
Hell yeah. The album rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you.
So is there any meaning behind the album title or cover art?
Ooh, good question. I don't think we've gotten this one yet. Alex, I'll let you take this.
Yeah, that is a good question. I guess I think Mundane Magic, we came up with the song title before we decided to call it the record. The record was it was kind of a last second decision to call the record Mundane Magic, but I think that title just like really encapsulated what this record is about. We've been DIY for so long, and but that's something we pride ourselves on. Because we, having control over what you do and being in charge of the message that you're delivering is really an awesome place to be. And, we live kind of like double lives in a weird way. Like we have 9 to 5s, but we also make music. And it's become a way of life for us. And I think that those have felt separate for so long. And I really think that the goal is to kind of always make them one, and that this just becomes a part of life for us, that this is a new chapter of life for the 3 of us, and that like a story told is just a way of life. And I think that that's Mundane Magic. So.
Hell yeah. And is there any meaning behind the cover art?
Well, obviously the 3 of us are in it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I guess it maybe indirectly feels the same way that like collectively our identity is one, I guess, where the faces are blurred and stuff like that it's kind of just a collective record of who we are and where we are as people. But it's really about what we're doing and what we're trying to say, not about us as individuals, I guess. Maybe
putting yourselves on the cover kind of solidifies the idea behind the album title.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
I got you.
Perfect.
There you go. So can you guys tell us a little bit about your writing process for the album?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like Alex was saying, this is record number 4 for us. And honestly, we've done this record just a little bit differently than we have in the past. In the past, it would usually start with like me, I play guitar in the band. I would come to Alex with like a guitar riff or a chord progression. But I feel like this time around, we focused a lot more on like starting with like the vocal melody and just like overall vibe of the song, which is something totally different than we've done in the past. So I've kind of Jason and I have taken more of like a production route in terms of in this record. So yeah, I mean, hats off to Alex. He kind of like took charge with this record and really gave it some identity and its purpose. And I think it made it such more like a more cohesive record than we've done in the past. So
and it obviously, the album's not even out yet, but like looking into the future, is that kind of where you guys see your writing process going, like that kind of dynamic?
It's funny, we're 4 records deep point, and I know Alex and I have already talked about, well, what's record number 5 going to look like? And we just we're about to release 12 new songs, and we're already talking about, well, what's another 10, 12 songs look like? And I really think I think record number 5 for us will kind of really be, I think it's going to be like the best of both worlds. We'll see like how it, what it shakes out to be. But I think we're just like really figuring out like our strengths and weaknesses as songwriters, where I think we're really going to hone in, with future releases. Obviously, we're still proud of everything that we've done, everything we're about to put out. But I think we're just, with each record, we're like fine tuning the process. And I think, I think I think it shows with like the new music, and we're looking forward to like fine tuning that even more with future releases. So
I got you.
Absolutely. Makes sense. So what song off this album took the longest to write, and which one is each of your own personal favorite?
Longest to write. I know the quickest song to write.
You want to tell us that in the meantime?
I think it's Superstitious. It's the second song on the record. It was the very last song that we wrote for it. And honestly, like Alex presented the idea, and it was like we already had the track listing like picked out. It was
late.
Yeah, I was like, we were kind of like, this has to go on the record. So I swear it was from like writing to it being sent to like mix was like in a week. So it's a very quick song, but I think it was just like what the record needed. But in terms of songs that took the longest, I feel like the first song on the album, Heaven Doesn't Care, song that took the longest. We actually earlier this year, we had always wanted to do this. We rented an Airbnb to like work on the record. Just to get away from all the noise and just like the three of us get in a room and really figure out like what this album was and really figure out like how we were going to get it done and out this year. And Heaven was one of the songs that we actually went to the Airbnb with. But it was one of the songs we did that earlier this year, like April, May timeframe, but we didn't finish it till like months later. I chalk that up to me dragging my feet on the production side. I feel like we get in the bad habit of like the next thing that we write is the greatest, the latest and greatest thing. So we kind of like not shelve the stuff that we've been working on, but we just get so excited about something new where we just jump right into that. So I don't think it was a issue of like, well, how do we finish it? I just think we just got like really excited about more songs. So, but to answer your question, my favorite song of the record, I don't know. I'm really high on Have You Ever Met God still. So I think that's my current favorite song. It changes every day though.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like it's changed like multiple times as we've gotten more of the album written, and as the time goes on, it keeps changing. But I think my favorite right now is Tell Me Why.
Tell Me Why was the one that I was going to mention. Like, feels like it took forever because it was like it may have not been last. It might have been Superstitious or Tell Me Why. Favorite song is tough. I feel like the title track is kind of a forever song for me. But I'm also like, I still love Heaven Doesn't Care. I feel like it just, like when you start the record, it like perfectly sums up what you're about to get yourself into. So
what an opener. Yeah. And on the note of like, the shelving of the songs and like you guys always just kind of focus on what is the newest, does that ever become a problem like with your backlog and like going back and trying to work on songs that you've been sitting on for a while? Like, do you guys just have a backlog that basically never gets revisited because you're always so focused on the most exciting new idea?
I was going to let
Jason... feel like... Oh,
go ahead.
No, I was just going to say like 99 times out of 100, a song, like, it's like this, we wrote 40 songs for this record, basically.
God damn.
It's crazy, but like our formula, it's like verse, chorus, and we move on unless it's like, so like, let's do this one.
Okay.
But the crazy part is like half the time we don't revisit them because we still have songs that we're like, oh, this song is so good, this has to make the next record, and it just never does. So
fair enough.
Yeah, we had a lot of demos from like the American Made sessions where we're like, well, we'll just like kick this to the next record, and we did. But then we're like, well, we'll kick them to the next record. So we wrote 40 songs for this record. We still have a ton just like in the vault, I guess you can say. But I think they'll find their time and place.
Yeah,
Jason has anything to do with it.
Yeah, there's one that if you guys ever hear a song called Over It, that means that I was pushing hard and fighting battles, and
you won it. You finally won.
You did it.
I'm somewhere celebrating.
Hell yeah. So how did the track list for the album come about? Did you guys write the opener be the opener, closer be a closer? Did you shuffle around and see what fits? What was that process like?
That's a really good question. I feel
I like
like
the opener and closer were set.
yeah,
That's about it.
yeah, I was gonna say, like, I feel like every record, uh, we're always like, well, this is the opener, this is the closer of the record, and it's just like from the beginning, from like the demos, we always just kind of like stick to it. And I feel like with every record that's happened, and
Mhm.
we haven't steered away from that. So, just some songs just feel like a statement and like a final moment, and this record is no different.
Mhm.
But in terms of like the rest of the track listing, uh, it's funny. All three of us kind of had different ideas for it, to the point where we were like, well, let's just put out like three different versions of the record and have different track listings. But we're in a world where like playlisting is like, it's what's popular right now. So it'll be interesting to see like if people that listen to the record like they want to hear it in a different way, it
Mhm.
takes them in a different way. I think that would be like a cool way to get like listeners involved. But yeah, I don't know, I think with like our music, things can kind of like flow pretty well between each other because it's always going to be like pretty like poppy, catchy. I would say like easy to listen to.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Where 9 times out of 10, like any order would be good.
Mhm.
Uh, but we did have the discussions of what the track listing is going to be and what we felt like the strongest was, and that's obviously what we went with. I know,
Mhm.
like it's funny, the last record, or not the last record, Good Looks, the track listing that's on streaming services is different than the track listing on the vinyl because
Oh.
as
We had to pick the vinyl early.
yeah, vinyl is
Mhm.
produced so far in advance where we were like, man, we're just like not digging this. And so
Mhm.
a copy of that on vinyl, it's totally different than what was on streaming. But that's only because we changed our mind last minute and couldn't do anything about it. So
Fair enough.
Damn.
fun fact.
That's
All right.
damn. That sucks though. But that's kind of cool though because then
It's
it's
kind
like
of,
a
yeah,
special version, a vinyl edition.
Mhm.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
also
Somebody
heard
texted me was like, what is this? I'm like, our bad.
Don't worry about it.
I've also heard of bands doing that because like the label and the band can't agree on a track list, so they're like, fine, we'll put one on
Split it.
physical, one on streaming. There we
Mhm.
go. Very simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little cute
I
little
think that's an
compromise.
awesome idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool as hell. Yeah. So, would you guys be able to tell us where your headspace is at while you're creating this record?
Headspace. You guys are asking such good questions.
Thank you.
Um, I just feel like all three of us are in, I mean, we started writing the record, I guess, probably 2 years ago at this point. And I think that although they're different, all three of us have like really gone through very transitional parts of our life, like very serious transitional parts of our lives.
Yeah.
And like I talked about earlier, it's like really just making the band just part of our lives and not making it feel like things are so separate that this is what we have. Not that the band feels like a chore to anybody, but just that there's some like level of separation. So I mean, I don't want to speak for anybody else, but Headspace, I really think there was just a lot of focus on just like a next chapter of life and trying
Mhm.
to get over the fear of like a next chapter of life because change is hard,
Mhm.
definitely, and kind of like embracing the unknown. And I think that's the best way that I could illustrate it. So
All right.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just like being like way more comfortable with who we are as a band. We've been doing this for, a lot of years now. Our first record came out in 2016. And, I felt like when we started the band, it was always like, we want to get signed and we want to get, tour and we want to, be the biggest band in the world. And, sometimes that stuff doesn't happen. But at the end of the day, we're like writing music that, we want to write. It's connecting with people. And that's really like all you can ask for when you are, doing this, like releasing music. I think sometimes people get so caught up in like, what does success mean? And if you have like, 10 people listening to your music or 10 million people listening to your music and they feel something with it, it's like, that's what it's all about. So I think just like this record and our headspace is just like, this is who we are.
Mhm.
And, we're not trying to be anybody else. We're not trying to, pull a fast one on anybody. Uh, and I just think that's kind of where our heads were at. And I think it just like makes the music that more authentic and how we like present the band. So
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. So how do you guys recommend your fans to listen to this album for the first time? Should you do it in the car with friends, in the dark with headphones on? Is a workout album, party album? What do you guys personally recommend?
Ooh.
Outer
Car.
space.
In the car for sure. When you're going on like a long enough drive to listen to the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
That would be my answer.
All right.
Good ass answer.
Does everybody else agree?
I said outer space,
Yeah,
Outer space is also good.
Yeah.
but
Outer Space is
that's
good
not
album.
like an easily accessible thing. So
If they wanted to, they would.
Yeah, maybe this album can get in the hands of, I don't know, Elon Musk or whoever's going to
Yeah.
space now, Bezos.
yeah, if only.
Mm.
I'm going to agree with Jason. Just I feel like our music's pretty reflective and very like nostalgic, where it just kind of feels like you just need to put it on the car, put it on in the car and just drive around. But they make fun of me. I love to listen to music through my iPhone speakers. So that's probably what I would personally do.
I do it all the time, not even because I enjoy it, just because it's the most convenient for me.
convenient.
I can't sit at this computer all day, every day.
Yeah.
Right. Putting on headphones feels like such a chore. It's like I just want to like press play and that's how I consume my music. So, but they give me some slack on that. But
Yeah.
Painful.
Right.
But now I consider the Josh listen. So it's like new songs, mix master. I'm like, okay, what's the Josh listen like? You know,
What's it sound like on a phone
like to
speaker?
the Josh people.
Because
Yeah.
the Josh listen is a good chunk of the music audience, just in general.
Yeah.
Right.
Unfortunately.
It also takes life off of my ears. So. But
Truly.
it's
That's fair.
I guess it's worthwhile.
Yes,
there's
so-
just something about music that sounds like it's coming out of like a Pepsi can that just like
I like my music to just have no low end at all. Just
right.
Mhm.
the more simple it is, the better.
Yeah. I especially love putting my phone with the speaker facing like a corner of a wall, so then it makes it even more tinny. That's
But it amplifies it. It acts as a speaker.
Now we're taking it to the next level.
Yeah, now we're talking.
yeah.
I'll have to,
Yeah,
like,
that's
Good stuff.
I'll put that into practice here soon.
Dude, it's awesome. It's fucking awesome. So this one should be super, super quick. Off the top of your heads, I want you guys to describe this album for new listeners in 3 words. 3 words each, 9 total, no more, no less.
Come on, Alex.
I'm thinking, bruh.
I am going to say emotional,
Mm-hmm.
fun,
Mm-hmm.
and the final word.
Ooh,
I'm going to say rock.
damn. Mm-hmm.
That's good.
I was gonna say fun,
Mhm.
so I'm still gonna say fun.
All right.
I would say nostalgic
Mm-hmm.
and reflective.
Oh,
Nice.
good. Good song. Alex, you gotta go
It's like,
eventually.
I wanted more time, and like it's not enough time.
Yeah.
You had all that time to think of 3 words.
And the time is now.
Yeah.
Dire,
Oh,
melancholic, but a more interesting version of the word fun, like
Exciting.
easy listening,
Okay.
easy
Sure.
listening will
There we go.
All right.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And in that same train of thought, is there a certain feeling or emotion you want listeners to have while going through the album?
Intentional.
Intentional?
Why not?
Outer space.
Outer space? Okay.
Oh, is it just one word? Do I only get one word?
No, you get to say
It's
as
not
many
one
words
word.
as you
I'm
want.
I'm waiting for you to elaborate on intentional.
What's the follow-up?
Everybody was saying one word. Emotion. I don't know. I want them to feel things. That's for sure. Emotional support. I don't know. I just feel like it's a record. I just feel like it's a record that, you know, it has a bunch of different narratives and just like aspects of like everyday life where I think I think if you're wanting something fun, if you're wanting something sad, if you're wanting something, reflective, I think the record has it.
Mhm.
So yeah, I want them to feel multiple emotions, and I hope we accomplish that. So happy, sad, optimistic would probably be like if I had to choose one word, optimistic.
The
All
Mystic.
right.
Damn right.
Yeah.
Good.
You
Does
know,
everyone
life
agree?
life sucks sometimes. Uh, but yeah, life does suck sometimes. But things can always get better. So
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah. So, are you guys able to touch on any particularly challenging or standout moments from the creation of this album, positive or negative?
Well, when we recorded in Tennessee, at this Airbnb in the mountains, and there was a black bear that loved to visit Airbnb. So
Mhm.
that was definitely a challenge to get the record with our life, at the palm of its hand.
Oh my
Uh,
goodness.
but a real answer, I don't know. I think being an independent band, it just has a lot more challenges. And it really, I think you really have to be in it for the right reasons, or you just like immediately get burned out. This is the fourth record that we have written, self-produced, self-recorded. We do everything ourselves.
Mhm.
So I think that's just like the challenge in itself is like, how do we create like a quality product while trying to maintain a life outside of it? And I think that's obviously like the theme of the record is just like, how do you create this space where you feel like comfortable with yourself and be comfortable with like, you just because you haven't reached a level of success in your mind, that doesn't make you not an artist or like a creative or successful. Um, so I just think like the challenges of like being an independent band and doing things ourselves was really like probably the biggest struggle with like making this record. So
All right. Anybody else got anything to add?
No, I was actually going to speak on the positive. I think that it was kind of like based on like the formula of how we've done it like in the past, just from the songwriting perspective. Like I think that at least from my point of view, is one of the refreshingly easier records to make. I mean, no record is easy to make by any means, but I know especially like for me, I feel like I could speak to it being a little bit more fluid, like that it was a little more natural. So,
Oh yeah. So for this question, I want you to picture you're on tour. You had a guess for a rest stop. What is your snack of choice?
I'm big on the nerd gummy clusters right now.
Nice.
I usually go Kind Bar, the what's it? The dark chocolate and sea salt one. That's my go-to.
Sounds banging.
I'll go natural almonds and a Sprite Zero.
Damn.
All right.
A lot of diversity in the snacks here.
Yes.
Yeah. My goodness. So on the topic of food, if the band was a dish, what dish would the band be and why?
Do we have a collective dish? What? There's something we all like.
I was gonna say like Outback Steakhouse cheese fries.
Ooh.
That's the first thing that came to my mind. Or
Let's do it.
All right.
Yeah.
Outback
All right.
Steakhouse cheese fries.
Sounds
Fuck
good.
yeah.
And
yeah.
but why I couldn't tell you.
I don't know
Just
why.
makes sense.
that's fair.
Yeah,
enough.
it's just
There's
one
no
of
way.
those things that's like just one of those things you can't explain about the universe, but it makes sense.
Exactly. It clicks. Yeah.
And for the last couple questions, we're going to shift completely away from music and go straight to death row.
Boom.
So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
Speaking of Outback cheese fries, mine would be Outback cheese fries with a cherry Coke.
Ooh.
Nice.
I know mine. You want me to go, Josh?
Yeah, you go. Give me some time.
I would do a ribeye, baked potato, broccoli, and a Caesar salad.
Ooh. Damn. Beautiful.
And
I'd
that would be
object
it.
to broccoli and salad for your last meal. What's the point?
Dude, broccoli's fucking immaculate. What?
It's all
I mean,
about
I like-
the flow of it all.
Right. Okay,
Yeah.
I get it. I
You're
respect
taking
it.
you're taking your last breath, and somebody just puts a piece of broccoli in your
What a terrible way to go out.
Yeah.
For me, shoot. I don't know, probably just like a whole pizza. Like,
Mm.
I don't know, just like a whole pizza.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
All right.
Hell yeah. So if you live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
Jason, it looks like you have an answer.
I think somewhere, I don't know if it's a fictional world, but I would be on the ship in like the Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
Oh, yeah.
That is news to me.
I don't
Got
know.
our-
It seems
We
fun.
got Pirate Jason over here.
Arr.
I've been playing a lot of Starfield, so I'm like, man, I kind of want to like, the game's kind of mid, but I'd like to live in that world maybe.
All right.
No way.
Shots fired.
For real.
Man, a fictional world that I would want to live in.
Mhm.
I don't know. I've never been asked this before.
The Blink multiverse.
I wasn't prepared for this question. Oh, shoot. Alex, where do you think I would want to be?
I said the Blink multiverse. I'm trying to think about other things that you like. I don't know, man.
Yeah, come up with your own answer, right?
I
I don't know. Let's tie it all together. I guess like the Harry Potter universe.
Hell
So-
yeah.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
Mundane Magic, Harry Potter, like
Nice.
That's good.
yeah.
Exactly. Hell yeah.
And I've done of asking the last question. Every single person that we've spoken to have said that it is the most important question. What's your favorite color?
Black.
I have to go black as well.
Yellow.
Woo! Love yellow.
That's
It's my
Corey's
favorite color.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my favorite color.
All right. And as I said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you guys would like to plug?
Just the album.
October 20th.
Hell yeah.
Mundane Magic.
You're so good at this.
Yeah. Obviously, our new record, Mundane Magic, comes out October 20th. So everybody should check it out. And yeah.
Hell yeah.
Not on phone speakers.
Mhm.
Well,
No, I
don't
don't
think
know.
so. All right.
Strictly AirPods Max.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for silence, guys. It's been a story told, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.